Hey everyone, welcome back to Ravenport and episode 4 of this Let's Play series. So in the last episode we extended our fields. We joined these two fields, which is 24 and 25 together. And the little strip down the middle. So we ploughed that up and joined it together, and then we also cut down some trees above field 26, just up here. And we extended this field up this way a little bit. I did go over after I'd finished doing all the ploughing with the subsoiler, just so we're getting the even texture, but obviously we've got a load of weeds have grown now on these two fields. And also above field 19 I did cut down the trees above there and extended that field upwards as well. So we've got a load of weeds. We do need to put lime across all the fields now, so that's what we're going to be doing today. As for the chickens, I have worked out these boxes are 150 litres per box, so we've got just over 1200 litres in total in eggs now, which if we look at the current best price for eggs, so the best price is 3,800, so we've got probably about £4,000 worth of eggs sat on the floor, which is quite a hell of a lot for a few boxes of eggs. As for the actual chickens, we are up to 95 now. I did get up to 100 and then I sold off 10. With the transport fee taken off, you only get $100. So they're definitely not something you gonna do to make money off breeding chickens. Anyway, so what we're gonna need to do is head up to the store. First I'm gonna buy a weeder and pull all the weeds out, and then we'll get some lime spread. Okay, so let's see what Carlo's got at his reliable motor store. So first off we want to buy a weeder. I want to get a mechanical weeder anyway at some point, so I might as well get one now. And then we've got it. 12 meter will be big enough. Or do we need, what's that one? 9 meter. We'll go with that one because it's cheaper and we've only got small fields anyway. So we'll buy that weeder, and then we need a lime spreader. Unfortunately there's only 2 options for spreading lime. What I'm thinking of this is because you only need it every after every 3 harvests, we might as well just lease one rather than spend like 40 odd thousand. What I'm going to do is get that one in the biggest size. We don't need the spreading unit as we've only got small fields and that. So we'll lease that, which is 3,180, and that capacity is 14,000 litres. So if we get 14,000 litres worth of lime, which will be 7 of these. So that's all our lime and the weeder. What we'll do is get the weeder back first, get the weeds all pulled out so we're not spreading lime over the weeds, and then we can come back, get the spreader, fill that up with the lime, and then get that over the fields, and then get the seeder set up so we can get those seeding. Okay, so we'll start off with field 19 and get all the weeds removed off here. So if we get this unfolded, I did come up a little bit further with this field than what I previously said. I was going to go level with one of those trees, but decided to go that little bit further. We just lower that one down. We can get rid of all these weeds, just make the field look a little bit nicer anyway, so it doesn't look a bit weird with spreading lime all over the top of the weeds. So I did come up a little bit further on this one. Also the 2 fields over there, which is 24 and 25, in the last episode I did go just a little bit just did the middle strip on the last episode, but after that I went across to the right hand side of that field to extend it a little bit more towards that hill, just to give it a little bit more space. So that's the first run done. So we have got much larger field areas, although they're still not massive. Right, so what I'll do is I'll continue this. We'll get all the fields done, then head up to the store, get the lime spreader. Probably going to have to make a few trips because the lime doesn't go very far. And so we're not going to get all the fields done on one full tank on that. So it's going to be a few trips. So we'll get the weeding done first. Okay, so we're just coming up to the last little bit on this field, and then that's all the weeds dealt with for now. I'm probably sure they'll grow back once we've got it all planted. We'll possibly, if we can catch them, use the weeder again to save us having to use any liquid like herbicide to deal with the weeds, but we'll see depending when they pop up and if they do actually pop up again. So that's the last bit done, so we can get this put away and then head up to the store and get the lime spreader. I do need to look at getting another shed put up because we are pretty much running out of space with this one now, and also I do want to try and get the little vehicle repair shop or maintenance shop put up as well, because as well as just being able to change the wheels, we can use that to obviously repair all the equipment, so we don't have to keep driving up to the store. So it's another thing I want to try and look at getting in place, and down at the yard we'll have a look at. But for now we'll get the lime spread. I want to get all the seeds, the field seeded so they're growing, and then we can look at doing some other bits and pieces. Okay, so we can get this filled up and then get this back to yard. The nearest lime station on this map is, there's one up by the biogas plant and the other one's over by the port grain elevator, so the shop's the closer option for getting the lime for where we are. It's a shame that when you buy pallets you can't do like you can with the bales and click a quantity rather than having to click individual times to buy the quantity you need. We're nearly halfway full. I do need to come back up with the flatbed trailer and get the herbicide and liquid fertilizer tanks back down to the yard. Possibly buy a few more of those as well, so we've got some in stock. And also we need to have a look at seed. I'm not sure how much seed we've got, whether we've got enough to do all our field at the moment, so we might have to do a trip or two back up to the store just to stock up on a few bits and pieces. And one thing else we want to do as well is get the solid fertilizer spreader and get some solid fertilizer before we actually seed the fields. That's another thing we're going to have to do. Just the last load of lime to go in for now. We'll get this back to the farm and start getting some lime on our fields and hopefully boost our yield for the next harvest. Okay, so we'll start off with field 19, get that done first and then do the other two. So I'm not sure how many trips we're going to have to do back to fill up. Hopefully not too many. I know lime really doesn't go a long way. One of the reasons why you've got such big spreaders is the little spreader, if you put lime in that, you'd be filling up so many times it wouldn't be worth it. Okay, so the last little bit of lime to put on, and then we've got all the fields done. So just under 2 full loads to do all the 3 fields. So it's not too bad, only the one extra trip required up to the store. We just tidy up these little bits that I missed, and then that's that job done. So what I want to do is get some fertilizer, some solid fertilizer spread on the field. Not sure if we can put that over the top of the lime, or whether we need to like cultivate that in first or what. I'm not sure. What I'm going to do is I'll take this back to the store and return this. I'm going to buy the little Coon fertilizer spreader, which is, so we'll just buy this one, the Axis 40.2. Get that filled up with fertilizer. The 3,200 litres should be more than enough to do our fields, and should last us quite a while as well, so we won't have to worry about filling that up very often. So I can get that back to the field and probably put that on the Maxim, use that, and then get the seeder set up. One thing I need to just check is how many seed pallets we've got. I think we've actually got quite a few. So we've already got some solid fertilizer down here, so I'll probably fill it up at the store anyway, rather than bring it back empty. So we've got 3 seed bags here, not sure if they're 100% full, and there may be some seeds still in the hopper, so we should be alright on that. So I'll go and pick up the fertilizer spreader and then bring that back here, and then we can look again, these fields all planted up and fertilised. Okay, so we've got the fertilizer spreader back to the farm. So what I want to do is put it onto the Maxim, but I want to change the wheels back to standard. So what I'm going to do is see if we can build the little vehicle workshop. And I'm thinking of putting it just up here next to this shed, if we can fit it in. Just put the F1 menu up so we see exactly how much it's going to cost us. It's 28,000 as standard. I don't want to be spending 50,000-60,000 placing in the vehicle workshop. It's 28,000 free, so that'll do. Nice and cheap. Well, cheaper than what it could have been. So we can get the standard tyres put back on this. Just drop the bucket off the front loader, so we don't need that at the moment. I do need to clean the feed area for the chickens, so do need to remember to go and do that at some point. So customize, and we just want standard. I'll just drop the fertilizer spread off and the weight. I'm not sure if we can actually spread this over the top, so we'll just try it first. The field's already partly fertilised. Take the weight off first, will help. Because I had to start the new save game, the crops that were originally in there are back in, so they've been kind of ploughed and cultivated in, so it's a bit patchy. We just park that up there and jump in this. Get the front weight on. I could do with buying another front weight that's a little bit smaller, because this one's quite big. So if we just quickly look at the map, you can see that Field 26 has got one layer of fertilisation over most of it, but for some reason at the top it's quite a bit patchy where we ploughed in the grass bit. I'm not sure why. And same with 24. The bits where we ploughed in have got one fertilisation. I presume that was from ploughing the grass in, give it a fertilisation stage. But why there's big patches where there isn't any, I'm not sure. But we'll see if we can just spread this on, just so we get an even coverage of fertiliser. So with the lime down, I'm not sure if it'll work over the top. No, it does, and it removes the lime, or like the texture of the lime, so you can see where you're going, which is rather handy. So we can get these fields done, and then we can start getting them seeded. That's probably all I'll probably do, is just finish off the seed. I don't need to do that, no, I do. Finish off this seeding, so all the fields are growing. I'll probably finish those off before the next episode as well. Probably won't get them all done today. And then while they're growing, we can have a look at doing some other stuff, maybe some more contracting. Definitely not sugar beets though. Maybe just doing a few smaller jobs, seeing if we've any jobs we can do using our own equipment. You know, some fertilising. We don't have, well, we've got the power harrow, so we could do cultivating, but depending on the size of the field, I don't want to take on a job that's a bit too big for the equipment we have. I just need to do this edge up here. So I'll get the other two fields done, and then we can look at getting the seeder set up. What I might do is put the worker on this actually, and then jump back in the Magnum and get the seeding started. So if we set a worker off, completed his task. Oh, the worker doesn't look like it's going to work over the top of the line. Oh, I know why. It's because that part's already fully fertilised, isn't it? Okay. Yeah, I'm going to get these done, because this is going to be a bit tricky trying to work out where I need to do and where I don't. I'll get the other fields finished, because it's going to be the same. The worker's not going to really work on it at this stage. And then we can get the seeding started. Because that's all the fertilizer spread. And all we can do is get on with actually doing some seeding. We don't really need the power harrow section on, but I'm going to leave it on anyway. I'll just top up the seed tank. We're just going to do soybeans in all the fields for this harvest, just to get a bit of money. It's quite a low yield crop as well, so we're not going to have tons and tons that we're going to have to make several trips with the trailer we've got. So what I'm going to do is get this started off, and then I'll probably finish this off off camera before the next episode, as my timer's playing up again. I do really need to get it sorted out. So we lower the hopper out, so I have no idea exactly how long this episode is going to be now. I don't want it to be too long. So if we turn that on and turn the planter on, or seeder, and away we go. So a few things I've been having a think about what to do down this area. I'm thinking about putting the small horse paddock in, turning this field into grass so we can do it for hay, and then we can do one of the other fields, probably the big one over there, for oats, because they are quite a low yielding crop, that we can use them for feed. And then the smaller field here we can do for wheat and barley to feed the chickens. I just missed that little bit of edge. And then look at getting fields, buying some more fields further away first before we do that. So some of the smaller fields around, so we can use those then for crops. Right. So I just I can't move then, it's I'd accidentally hide a worker. Yeah, so we get, because I'm not overly fussed about the horses, like it's not something that massively interests me, but would like to at least do them once in 19. And we can fit the small horse paddock. I'm not going to go mental like with the large one and getting 16 horses. You're probably just like 2 or 3 horses at most at a time, because you do have to spend 5-10 minutes every in-game day riding them round to boost up their stats, so you can actually make some money on them. So I don't want to get huge amounts and I'm having to spend so much time off camera training them up. It's not something I fancy doing, but I do want to at least get them to have a try. So I'm thinking of get them down here, so we can have this field for grass, and then just do it for hay. And obviously when we don't need hay for them, we can do some silage bales to sell and stuff. So there's quite a few small fields like nearby. We've got 18, there's 23, and you've got 22, 21 and 20 that are not far away. And then just going up north a bit, you've got 17, 16, 15 and 14, which none of those are like massively expensive, so it shouldn't take too long for us to be able to afford one of those or a couple of those, and then we can look at getting the horse paddock down here. So I want to get the other fields first, so we can always have some crops growing to sell off. And we can always look at doing some more forestry, because we've got quite a lot of trees above field 19 we could cut down to make a bit of extra cash off that, to put towards buying a new piece of land. So I'm going to call it for this episode. Hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, then please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. If you've got any questions or comments, then leave them in the comment section and I'll try and reply to you as soon as I possibly can. And if you've not yet subscribed to the channel, then please do consider subscribing to the channel. I'm going to have new Farming Simulator 19 videos every day with the time lapse and let's plays alternating. And again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you again. Goodbye.